Jay here with FCP Euro. It's been a tough winter. Spring is upon us. We're gonna start getting some warmer temperatures. It's a good time to take your car and give it a spring inspection. I'm gonna give you a few tips on how to do so let's get started. First thing you're gonna wanna do, start up the car, check for any lights, any messages on the dash. Right away, this one says check oil level. So oil is low in this car. Start of spring, not a bad idea to do an oil change. Start the season off right. Also check for any type of check engine lights, any type of messages. Looks like we're good other than that. Let's inspect our windshield wipers. Check for any type of smearing, any smudges. Make sure it gives a nice clean wipe. Looks good. Next, let's turn on all of our lights. Hazards, fog lights, headlights. Make sure that everything is working properly. If you have a helper, you can have them sit in the car and put their foot in the brake. Make sure the brake lights are working. If not, I usually get a pry bar, wedge it against the seat, and you can do it yourself. So everything checked out fine. Let's look under the hood. All right, so first thing you want to start off with is check all your fluids. Coolant looks like this is actually a little bit low. It's at the minimum level. Top off your washer fluid. Check your engine oil. Check your air filter, your cabin filter. Check all your coolant hoses for any type of leaks. Also good time to check out your dry belt. Make sure there's no cracking. Make sure it's nice and tight and your tensioner is working properly. And last but not least, if your battery is located underneath the hood, you can also check your battery cables for any type of corrosion. Next, we have the car up in the air. We want to check out the condition of our tires. This is the passenger front tire. You can clearly see this is the wear bar of the tire with a tread depth gauge. You can just give it a good measurement. Looks like this one's at 430 seconds. It's coming up on tires. Anything 430 seconds or below, you're going to want to replace your tires. Next, it's a good time to inspect your suspension components. Make sure there's no play, any damage. Your control arms, your control arm bushings, your steering tie rods, the outers, the inners. Check out your drive axles, the boots, make sure there's no rips or tears, your ball joints. You can check your wheel for any play in the tie rods, the ball joints, or the wheel bearings. Also a good time to look the undercarriage of the engine over. Make sure there's no leaks. Check out any visible engine mounts. Looks like there's a little bit of residue here coming from the transmission drain plug. A little bit of oil leaking onto the transmission mount. Everything else looks pretty good underneath here. Same thing with the rear of the car. Go over your control arms, all your suspension components, sway bar links, etc. Make sure there's no play in the wheels or tears in anything. Next, check out the condition of your exhaust. Make sure there's no holes or any type of damage. Go over all your hangers, make sure everything is nice and secure and tight. So everything checked out fine. Next, I'm gonna lower the car. I'm gonna take off the wheels and we'll check out the shocks, struts, springs, and condition of the brakes. Check out the condition of your rotors. Make sure there's no hot spots, no glazing, no visible lip. Check the condition of your pads. Typically you want at least 3 to 4 millimeters. Anything less than 3, you definitely need a replacement at that time. You also want to check out the condition of your brake hoses. Check for any dry rotting, any type of rips, tears, any leakage. Good time to check out the condition of your struts. Make sure there's no leaks there. Make sure everything's nice and tight. Check out your coil springs. Make sure that they're not broken. A lot of times these coils will break over time. Sometimes you get a look at your bump stop. You get to check out the condition of that as well. Your bellows boot. Everything seems to be pretty good here. Sometimes you get an angle. Check out the bellows boot on the tie rod end, on the inner bellows boot, and also your outer CV joint. Make sure, again, no rips, no tears, no type of leakage. All right, guys, that concludes our spring inspection. Obviously, you're gonna wanna repeat the process in the rear as you did the front. Check out your brakes, suspension, struts, shocks, etc. If you have any comments or questions, please comment in the box below. Also, go to our website, search #swag. You can find all our shirts and apparel, and show some love for FCP Euro. Thanks.